Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I have a whole bunch of tips for you to get organized for back to school. These tips will help you kind of keep on top of all of your schoolwork and your assessments and your due dates, making sure that you don't forget anything and you're getting everything done and you're achieving everything that you want to. Also, don't forget, and if you do not know, I am having a back to school giveaway on my channel. I'll have a link in the description. Make sure you click it and check it out. I am giving away a whole bunch of stationery supplies and an iPad, which is so awesome, so make sure you check that out. And if you do enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe if you're new, and let's get started. I have two reasons as to why I think highlighters are a really good way to stay organized and stay on top of things for school. Plus, they're really affordable and they're easy to get. I think I've got two different sets here. One is probably from the reject shop for about $2 for a pack, and the other one's from Kmart for probably about $2 as well. So super affordable item to have in your stationery collection and really, really useful. So the first reason as to why I really like highlighters is they're a really easy way to kind of create a key system for your calendars and your to-do lists to keep track of everything that you have to do. And it doesn't necessarily just have to be for schoolwork. Like, you could have one total calendar dedicated to schoolwork, you could have another one dedicated to doing like chores or things around the house, you could have another one dedicated to your whole life. So it could include anything from your subjects at school to your sport, music, if you play a musical instrument. You could have having like your friends, hanging out with your friends, having downtime, and then all you have to do is use like the highlighters to create kind of a color coding system, and then you would use the highlighters and the colors on your calendar or your to-do list to kind of work out what it is that you have to do, divide up your week, make sure you're getting your homework done, or you're having downtime and spending time with friends. I just really like highlighters as a way to make sure that I'm getting all of my topics and all of my things done that I need to. So I like that, and I think it looks really pretty too, especially when you do it in rainbow order. As I said before, you could totally do the same thing for all of your chores, because having a clean space is also going to help you feel motivated to get things done, like kitchen and dining, or if your parents give you any chores that you need to do every week. Creating a color-coded system to keep track of everything is a really great way to stay on top of all of your chores and make sure you're getting everything done and using your time really wisely. So the second reason that I like highlighters is for taking notes, and I think a lot of people will make the mistake of taking notes in the form of highlighting large paragraphs of things. I know I used to do this when I was in both school and university, and it's kind of not the best way to do it, because when you see a giant section highlighted like that, it doesn't really help you remember anything about it. So the key is to kind of highlight maybe just a couple of words, or maybe one particular word. If you really have to, you can do an entire sentence if it's a really important sentence. But the idea is to just kind of keep everything quite simple and to the point, because all you need to do is just draw your eye to that section of that text, and then you can read everything else around it anyway. So it's really important to just highlight little parts of what's really important so that you can come back to it at a later date. This looks so much easier to pinpoint where everything is really important, whereas this up here, where it's just lines and lines of highlight, just you lose the importance and you can't actually see what it is that you've highlighted. So try and avoid doing big sections of highlighting and only stick to little bits like this. Again, you could use a color coding system where different colors mean different things. You could have yellow for something, orange for something, pink for something, and it's a really easy way to keep track of everything. I felt like essay planning was really easy doing it this way, because then I could keep this part for the middle, or this part for the end, or this part for like the beginning, and that way it was color coded. So try and keep all of your note taking like this instead of doing this. And I know it's really hard, but with practice you'll get better at it. I find another way to stay super organized are post-it notes. Not only can you just write things that can be stuck on your wall, but you could also write things to be put into your books or your diaries and take notes. If you have an important birthday party coming up, you could write that down and stick that on your wall. That way you're not going to forget it. It's just a really easy way to take some notes, keep everything organized and together. And what I think is really great about post-it notes is you don't have to use them as is. You could write multiple different things onto them in different sizes or shapes, and then you could cut those post-it notes up, and then you can use them to bookmark certain pages in your notebooks or your textbooks. I think it's a really great way. You can just use the sticky part, and then that way you're going to be able to see that when the book's closed, and you'll be able to flick to that point, or if there's something Anything else that you need to know, you wanted to divide it up, all of your subjects, say all of your subjects are in one book, you could create different little notes for different subjects so that they can hang out the side of your book, and then that way you'll be able to turn exactly to that page and that point that you need. Such a simple way, and again, you can do it in all different colors. You could color code if you had different post-it notes. I just really like them as a super easy way to try and stay organized. Another thing that you should really have is a wall calendar, or at least 2 to maybe 3 months up on your wall next to your computer or your desk. This gives you a chance to put important post-it notes around them, but also be able to see what day it is, keep on track of where you are for the month and when you have assessments due. So the easiest way I found to do a calendar is to actually just use like the iMac calendar. You could design your own one in Photoshop or Illustrator or any of those kind of imaging programs, but if you just go to the like Apple calendar, you can just print that page and then you can select multiple months to print at once. And then if you didn't want to write this in by hand, you could actually do it all on the computer and have a calendar completely on the computer, and then you can even print out those dates and those different topics and subjects and all of the things that you're marking inside your computer onto your calendar. But I kind of prefer just writing it in by hand, so I just went ahead and cleared away all of the stuff that I didn't need and just printed out the calendars as is, and then I can just go and put them straight on my wall and write them in and customize them exactly how I want them to be. And I just think it's a really easy way to keep track of all of your subjects and everything that you have to do, your events, your social calendar. It's a really great way to see what's happening in the next couple of months. So one of my favorite things to do to stay organized, and I feel like so many of you know this about me, I have a to-do list and a bullet journal, and I love it. I have a bullet journal that has a monthly spread. I will leave a link to some of my bullet journal videos in the description. I have another one for the month of August coming up very soon, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But I do a monthly spread where I can kind of keep track of everything that I need to do for the month. I think that's a really good idea if you have assessments or things due, that you can kind of, again, just as like your wall planner, kind of plan out in the future and know what it is that you've got coming up. And then also I just write each day a to-do list. It's the most basic layout. I do 4 to-do lists per double page. It does like 4 days, and I just keep writing dot point after dot point after dot point, and I just keep checking them off as I go through that day. If I don't finish them that day, I just move them on to the next day, and I just keep going until I get everything done. I think to-do lists are the greatest thing in the whole world because it makes me get all of my thoughts out. It gets all my tasks written down so I can see them, and then I feel like I'm achieving things when I cross stuff off, and it just makes me really motivated, and I like being able to see what it is that I have to do. Having a filing system like this is really important. So this is my personal filing system for all of my documents, but you could totally do the same for your subjects. You could have a folder per subject. It'll keep everything separate and really neat and organized. You could do it on your desk or a bookshelf. I will have a link to the video where I created these in the description, but I just used Photoshop to create the labels, printed them out, and then I put them into the back of the folders. But this is the best way to stop all of your paperwork and all of your notebooks and your exercise books getting all messed up. You can put any handouts you get in here. If you make any notes, they can go in here. And again, the folders are big enough to put your actual exercise and notebooks in. So I think having a filing system is a really great way to keep all of your subjects separate, and I wish I had have done this when I was in school. Make sure that you clean off your desk at least a couple times a week, maybe once at the minimum, because it's so easy to build a desk up and just end up piling like documents and paperwork and pens and pencils, plates, cups, everything. You know it is so easy to just start kind of getting it all really messy, and when it's messy you become demotivated. You don't want to work in that space, so it's really important to keep tidying everything up. Having a clean space is going to make you motivated. It's going to make you want to get up and actually do some work. A messy space is really, really demotivating. I feel like this is probably one of the most important points to staying organized, is to make sure that your workspace is clean. Get rid of any old post-it notes that you don't need. Get rid of any documents, throw things out, plates, cups to the kitchen, everything like that. You need to make sure that your space is clean, and then you'll actually want to do some work and you'll start achieving all of your assessments and your goals and things that you need to get done. And the last thing that I wanted to share with you today is make sure you do reward yourself when you are like achieving things. So set yourself little goals, and then once you've achieved them, like you've maybe written an entire paragraph or 100 or 200 words of an essay, then give yourself some time to relax. If you've got a game you like to play or a TV show you want to watch, or you just literally want to just chill out and jump on Instagram, then do that. You have to make sure that you are giving yourself rewards, because it's going to motivate you and it's going to keep pushing you to keep working harder and harder. So try and plan it out, make little goals, achieve those goals, definitely give yourself a little treat, and then get stuck straight back into it. So those are all of my back to school organization tips. I really hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys like to do to stay organized for school or for work or whatever it is that you do. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you check out the giveaway that I am having. It will be listed in the description. And of course, if you are new, make sure you subscribe. Up the top here, you can check out my last video. Down the bottom, I will leave a link to another one of my videos. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!